4-year-old hates food. He hates all food except for cheese and chocolate.
He would do things like eat the food because he would get the reward, and then announce to us that even though he liked it, he was never going to eat it again.
You're going to eat, and that's it. End of story. And if you don't eat what's on the table, you don't eat it all.
I almost think that maybe there are certain children that at certain ages they have like palate issues. Like his taste buds are like all off.
It's a struggle to be accustomed to
Octopus.
Even if you teach your dinner or else you're not gonna get dessert. Hey everybody, it's Rebecca Woolf from Girls Gone Child. How you doing? Today I'd like to talk about food. My son, Archer, was eating amazingly well as a child. He basically lived on avocado and quinoa and tofu. He pretty much ate everything until like maybe a year or two ago when he decided that he did not want to eat vegetables anymore. He did not want to eat anything that I served him. He did not like my health food crap. It's really hard for me because I feel like I failed as a mother. I was raised with food was very important in my family growing up. And I really wanted my children to grow up doing the same thing.
The food thing is so hard. When I think about Paige, and when she was little, she was just like Archer. She would eat anything and everything, and it didn't matter. She would just put it in front of her and she would eat it, and with glee. She had a certain age, and then it was pasta with Parmesan cheese and butter, and maybe some broccoli and bread, and that was it. And I could not stand cooking for her.
I know you're going through all too well. My son is 6.5, and from when he started eating foods until he was 2, he ate everything. His diet began to get smaller and smaller and smaller until he was eating nothing but macaroni and cheese and yogurt.
It feels so good knowing that your son eats like too. It just feels good not to be alone. Like obviously what I'm going through with Archer is I'm not the anomaly here. Like it seems to me that most kids go through phases with their eating that are questionable.
Liam and Ewan, my 8-year-old, my 4-year-old, their eating habits could not be more opposite. Liam will eat anything you put in front of him. The kid eats sushi, he'll eat tofu, he'll eat Thai food, and even if he doesn't like it, or if it's weird to him, he will still try it. My 4-year-old hates food. He hates all food except for cheese and chocolate.
If I let him, he would just live on Cheerios. How can you look at a bowl of Cheerios and then look at like this amazing omelet with like cheese and vegetables and all this yummy stuff in it and say, I'll take the Cheerios? I almost think that maybe there are certain children that at certain ages they have like palate issues. Like his taste buds are like all off. It's opposite day in his mouth where bland tastes grand.
A family member said to me, just give him macaroni and cheese every night. He's gonna get sick of it. For a while, we just gave him the macaroni and cheese and made our own food, and the pediatrician said that's the way to go because they're gonna see what you're eating and they're gonna get curious, they're gonna wanna try, and it didn't apply to Henry. And then I was told, well, when he starts school, the peer pressure of seeing other kids and what they're eating, that's gonna really get him curious about other foods. That didn't work out. If anything, I think he gave other kids a little bit of an eating disorder.
When I was a kid, I didn't get a chance. I mean, I had no choice on what to eat, and that's just the Korean style of doing things. You put it out there and you're gonna eat, and that's it. End of story. And if you don't eat what's on the table, you don't eat it all. And there's not a tear shed about that from the parent side.
If I'm making spaghetti and meatballs, we're having spaghetti and meatballs. If I'm making fish and asparagus, we're having fish and asparagus. I'm not gonna make like a PB&J side. I'm not gonna make a mac and cheese side. And you will eat what's on your plate. And if you don't eat what's on your plate, I will take it, I will save it, I will heat it up for you again at the next meal. And I will keep doing that until either A, you eat it, or B, the food rots.
We were told, try reward chart. And that was a huge failure because that just basically brought home the message, that food is really, really important, and eating the right food gets you a special reward, which means we must really want you to do it. So he would do things like eat the food because he would get the reward, and then announce to us that even though he liked it, he was never going to eat it again. He didn't actually give us the finger after that, but I think it was implied.
I'm so glad Paige wasn't that extreme. The reason why Paige has a more varied diet now is a combination of me just saying, you know, screw it. I'm just cooking dinner. Not 2 dinners, not 2 worlds, you know. And I started having Paige cook some stuff for herself. And I think that's given her a whole new appreciation for the time it takes to cook dinner.
I know that everyone has their tricks and the things that they do to get their kids to eat healthy. For me, my bag of tricks is relatively small, and I'm wondering if you guys can enlighten me, can enlighten all of us with some of the things that you do with your kids to get them to eat well.
The conversation is happening now at momversation.com.